what is that space that somehow is a mirror image of itself. I very early called that a cross-section of time. And I'm not aware of anyone using that expression to any extent, or actually analyzing my reason for calling something the cross-section of time. It really means that the now is a dual reality between the past and the future.
Why would a man in his 90s choose to pack up his entire life for a distant new home? For years, he worked as a professor of arts in Orlando, married to Kristin Eyfells, who shared his passion for creating art. But then, Kristin passed away. What was he to do in a place where the past was still so present, and nothing seemed to lay ahead but to wait for the inevitable? Despite his age, he still had his health. And when the opportunity arose, he bought a ranch in Texas. He packed up their entire life's work, 160 tons of sculptures, a vast collection of paintings and everything else that they had acquired throughout their life. The course was set for hill country to create a foundation, a tribute to the ones so dear to his heart. It was a new beginning, a new birth. This man is the sculptor and thinker, Johann Eyfells.
Fine. Do you want me to sign for something?
No, sir. Are you Mr. Eyfells?
Yes, yes.
Now, have you bought the place?
Yes, I have.
Okay, sir. No, I just need to give you this.
Uh-huh.
And what I need for you to do, if you will call her to our office,
right? Yeah.
We'll mark you down as a route customer, and then we'll keep you
a permanent customer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Ég þarf að kaupa aðra krukku, ég sé það. Sjá hvað skefur. Þetta á að drepa þær. Og bara elegant heimreið. Náttúruleg sveigja. Trén hafa ráðið einhverju, fólk hefur svona farið inn á milli trjána. Þetta er náttúruleg staðsetning. Eins og allt verður hér, það verður allt náttúrulegt. Það verður ónáttúrulegt náttúrulegt. Sem ég vil vera independently independent. It means that you are working without a model. You're working without a conscious limitation. Working without a thought process that is borrowed from somewhere else. There's a treasure in here. It doesn't look like it. I'm expanding my future. I'm much more interested in my future than to expand on some narrative that has been going on for a while, you know. I think I'll take this one. Tight. Okay. That's it. Looks like it's secure, but it isn't. Okay. And all actions become too difficult. It doesn't seem that actions are being called for. It seems you should just stay put. And that's what I felt like over there. I should just be there and grow old. That's not my style. And of course, there are more deeper reasons. I lost Kristin. Some new surroundings were in order, so there was nothing wrong with what we had, but it seemed like it wasn't the same without her. Let's face it, it wasn't. I'm alone, in a sense, with the feeling that I'm still a unit. I'm still Kristin's husband. We're still Eyfells and Eyfells. Well, we met in California. We were in a party, a nice group of Icelanders, students at the University of California. And this beautiful lady walked over to me and said, my name is Lilla, what's yours? And that was it. I knew Lilla would be my wife forever. I don't know about her. I never asked her. I took it for granted that I would fill the part, you know. Beautiful.
That's what you want?
Beautiful. My goodness.
Good.
Could you hold it up again for the sure?
What is that?
That's our measuring stick. I was wondering if where's the other one? I'm lucky. I come from two very different strains of the human species. On my mother's side, father was a clergyman, and my grandmother was a lady of substance. And my father was an illegitimate son of a farmer. So I had to assess myself differently from certain youngsters. Do I belong to the Breams? Do I belong to my mother's, you know, educated, dignified, well-behaved kind of a mass of people? Or do I belong to my father's more robust? My mother's people knew all the answers. I mean, there was no mysteries anymore. You just became some kind of an educated person. But in my father's case, it was harder to find really a point of stability. So I was very lucky to come from two very different types of personalities. I always had a feeling that I became an artist in spite of my upbringing. Þetta alveg perfekt núna, algjörlega. Create new words. I have created at least 10,000 new words.
Like chaology.
Chaology was a new word when I started doing it. There was chaos theory, chaology was my word.
Those are really neat. Gray and smoky and dark, but it was beautiful in a way because it's the beginning of something new.
That's the whole idea, something new. að ganga, hálfnátt, gerum við. Þetta eru mjög góða súlur. Jæja, nú gengur þetta. Ég gefum $50 á pís extra, er það ekki?
Here's the one we're looking for. The last one.
Ég er að spila leik sem ég annarkvæmt tapar minni sál, eða ekki minni sál. Ég er að leggja allt fyrir draum og fyrir það að ég hafi eitthvað sálrænt sem er þess virði að leggja alla mína peninga framtíð í það. Something smells good.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
You don't have your red tie on, eh?
This is buffalo, Texas buffalo, shot by Ms. Deborah. And you may get the information about that after dinner. Okay. It was done properly. And this was special request of Eyfells, who liked it a little bit different version. So please help yourself. And after that, pass this. Everybody good, right? But what's going to be really wonderful is when he gets his own place set up. It's between here and Fredericksburg.
Great.
And it will
been
not only feature
following it.
his work, but also his wife's. And he's still not fully here yet.
No.
He's had 4...
I'm just like this, sort of.
But we've already adopted him here in Texas,
Yeah.
of course.
That's good.
But the move was massive. The first shipment was 70 tons of sculpture. It came from Rotterdam and Iceland and Florida and New York, and it's not finished yet.
So
Wow.
exciting.
2 years, in about 2 years.
2 years it'll take you, you think?
Wow.
At least to get started, yeah. I call our collaborative work as receptual art. I created the word, not the content. The process of creation that we are going through, it is something that can only happen in an entirely momentary way. I call it in a punctual or an absolute punctuality, in an absolute timeless, spaceless, placeless dimension. So the word receptualism is simply describing an activity between two opposite natures, describing the activity that itself doesn't do anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the aluminum is a recording material. It records the resistance that it meets on its way to gravitational stillness. Before it cools down, it has somehow taken advantage of that little bit of an opening whereas the cast iron would simply stop them.
What kind of ranch you got?
I need to mow 2.5 acres, and we have some, it's fairly high grass, you know.
We would have like the tractor with the shredder. That green tractor right out there?
And the ball is in it.
Yes, the ball's on the ticket, yes. Then I just need initials here that you know how to haul a trailer.
Oh, yeah. Hugsunin til að gera raunveruleikann mögulegan, bara stundarsakir. Við þurfum að bróta okkur í búta og sameina okkur upp á nýtt. Það er það sem Eyfells að predikara. Og þess vegna er til dæmis í stærðfræðinni að hún skilur ekki þessa sameiningu og sundrun. Því hún heldur að sameining sé einhver stoppun á sundrun. Það er ekki til í dæminu. Stærðfræði getur aldrei náð virkilegum tökum á sínum eigin raunveruleika og þetta vissi ég fyrir 50 og 60 árum. The light we are seeing now is the opposition of its nature. It has been slowed down for us to enjoy it and experience it. So the slowing down is the opposition that's needed to become perceptible. So we are really using something that has been slowed down enough to become perceptible for scientific observation. So Einstein's formula is fine in that perceptible world. But once we leave that material reality, the formula is meaningless. I have another formula, which is very similar. It's called I equal to m infinity squared. It is the formula for nothing in our world and a being in the intellectual or the thought world. A scientist believes in his ability to predict. An artist is proof that he can predict through creation, not through ha-ha, I told you so. But he can predict that I will come up with something unknown. After I started this piece, the outcome presented itself, creating a substance that's larger than the creator. So I dug a hole that impressed, that sort of would be seen as a womb. I call it a womb of operational necessity. But my domains of truth are cross-sections of time. They are not stoppages in the traditional way. They're caught moments in the passing of time. I felt compelled and free. It's a strange way to be under the necessity of creating something where you have supplied the formulas. All you have to work with is the necessity that only hints at itself. It doesn't give you a model. It just, you work in the domain of hints. It's a good way to feel like a subject or a functionary. You're really a slave in the name of freedom. Your identity becomes the identity of difference. Difference and echoes. There is a possibility we are more echoes than actually real beings. I hope the study of holograms goes deeper than simply a scientific game. I have a feeling that holograms in nature are intriguing. Perhaps we are holograms. We are simply fictions, but something is very fictional about our reality. Spírallinn hefur innifellur ekkert, útilokar ekkert. Spírallinn hefur ekkert, enga innri veruleika og engin ytri takmörk. If we are just a circle, oh, that's kind of dull, so we turn ourselves into spirals and we change a little bit, and then we become circles again and change a little bit, so that's a spare part. Þá getur sagt spírallinn túlkun á engu. Allt mitt andlega energi hefur farið í það að athuga hvað ekkert. Hvers vegna að taka mannin alvarlega? Þetta bara venjulegur listamaður. Það allir sem vita hvað ég að gera, en ég segi að þeir vita það ekki og það búið að vera þannig allt mitt líf. Ég þekki engan sem skilur nákvæmlega sem ég að gera. Þessi strákur, hann ómögulegur. Hún hefur ekkert vitað í hvað listaverkinu. Þau eru algjör asnar í listaverkinu. Það vitist það. Það svona fólk. Það ekki hægt að móka það. Það skilur það ekki. The I in the formula is equal to nothing in the sense that it is lacking nothing. The I in the formula, I equal to m infinity squared, is equal to nothing in the sense that it is an event that's lacking nothing. Nothing as a being may then be the totality of nothing.
Så don't know if you want to read this over, look at it.
Well, there was something about her death. It was not in Gainesville, it was in Orlando.
How did you hear from us, Mr. Eyfells? I never asked you that.
Well, about 56, I was here.
He did it, my grandfather did a piece
40
here. So
years.
did you meet my father then, or?
He never did do the piece.
He turned you away?
No. Kristin decided not to spend the money. She was always tight on. I mean, she's turning over in her grave.
With all the money you're spending?
Absolutely. Or I hope she likes it. She's not in charge anymore. I am in charge.
Which one do you like better? This one?
Yeah.
That's the one I made for you. You take that one.
Well, I would rather not keep
Are you leaving already? Are we done? That's it?
Hugsun skeður ekki út úr organized reality. Hugsun skeður út úr nonsensial reality á okkar mælikvarða. Svo að þess vegna það sem maður heyrir að við erum ekki ennþá hugsandi verur. Við erum samsagt meira eins og computers að vinna úr því hráefni sem við höfum. Þetta sem kallar creative mind náttúrulega bara della. Það engin til sem heitir creative mind. Það creative reality sem maður gengur í þjónustu fyrir. Maður að ganga í þjónustu miklu meira heldur en að skapa. Listamaðurinn hafnar og velur, hann skapar ekki. Góð byrjun á degi. Já. En mér heyrðist á hann hún væri örg. Hringt 4 sinnum og enginn svaraði. Fólk vill ekki átta sig á því að maður hefur ekki alltaf tíma til þess að vera kurteis og huggulegur. Og ég alltaf að segja það, mig vantar miklu meira tíma í raun og veru heldur en nokkuð annað. Hún notaði náttúrulega mikið ljósmyndir. Hún var eiginlega frjálsari með allt annað nema augnasvið. Þar fannst mér eins og hún þyrfti að ná einhverju sem var ekki nauðsynlega hennar túlkun. Eftir að augun voru að hennar áliti klár, þá var hún frjáls, þá byrjaði hún að túlka. Hún las sér til fólkið og hafði góða hugmynd undirstöðu kraft persónuleikans. Þessi nýja samsetning sem hún sterkust í, það setja saman hennar tilfinningar fyrir persónuleikunum, setja það saman með nýjum lögmálum, nýjum formum, nýjum litum. Það er þetta myndræna, það er ekki túlkun, það er einhvers konar raunveruleiki sem hún nær tökum á í gegnum liti og form. Hennar styrkleiki er í að sameina andstæður. Þetta talandi miðja, eða speaking centers, hún dreifir efninu og fer einhvern veginn inn í miðjuna og notar þá tilfinningu sem sameiningarafl. Í hvert einasta sinn sem maður nálgast verkin, þá koma nýjar listrænar tilfinningar inn í sálmanns, mætti segja. Og krafturinn, það er allt það sama. Ég hef ekki tekið eftir þessu virkilega fyrr. Það er eins og eitthvað sé að stangast á, og það er svo ótrúlegt að geta komið slíku á stað bara í hökuformi. But the power of the shape became something else. It simply became a unification of the face, a point of stabilizing the two halves of the face that are emphasized again with the septum. The way she treats that element, that facial element, is the signature of her efforts as a painter. She never signed a painting. I may have not influenced her. I may have brought out her inborn talents more than I realize. I may have somehow given her strength as a creative artist. She was a dress designer and a proven lady of great taste, you know. I think we strengthened each other. I think that's the case. Every time I look at this, it's arbitrarily oriented. You see, I just lifted it up from the ground where it was transported, and just placed it in front of, instead of sort of evaluating, you know, one way or the other. And that's the beauty of this. That makes me look at it in a different way. You say, wow, what a lucky kind of... It has to do with focal, you know, if you lose your sense of a focal point, if you lose your sense of intensity, if you lose your sense of things are going well, then you might as well quit. But singularity contains two fundamental powers, the power to affect and the power to be affected. And we are much more familiar with the power to be affected than the power to affect. We're beginning to lose the power to affect because we're so willing to stay within the power to be affected. I consider myself wearing an infinite number of masks. Sometimes I'm a slave laborer, and sometimes I'm a successful artist, and everything in between. Sometimes I carry boxes around, and sometimes I sit somewhere in the presence of my art and kind of feel kind of good about it. Then I had to go back to slavery, to tighten all the bolts. Very close, very close. What is, right? There is no such a legitimate question. We cannot live the verb to be in the material world. What is without motion, without material reality. In other words, it's the source of our is, or our duration. It's the source, it's the eternal reality that has never begun, has never ended, is simply untimely, spaceless, placeless, but a source of all our ways of being and thinking. Motionless in some way. It's nonsense. Even if something doesn't seem to move on the earth, it moves along with the earth. So there is no is in our world. Where's my pencil? I lose my pencils all the time. I was using it over there, so maybe I dropped it. Here it is.
Yes.
Oh yes. Now to ask what is part of being human. And it's part of our desire to come to grips with the impossible. What we're talking about is a new way of finding solutions without answers or goals or aims. Find solutions in the process of being human. So, in simple terms, we are nature's experiments. Simple as that. Oh, those were good years. Lots of growth. Big good years. It's a little bit slavery turned into a good game. 1 minute to show those painters. It's not all just sort of doodling. Þetta seriur af verkur sem kallað eru Disappearance Manifested, birting hvarfsins. Það eitthvað þarf að hverfa til þess að annað geti tekið við. Það ómögulegt að sjá báðar þessar hliðar í einu. Það eins og dagurinn í dag og morgun. Og ef maður lítur á hvarfið sem dauða, þá fer þetta að taka á sig dálítið magnaða þýðingu. Sem sagt, dauðinn er ekki endir. Dauðinn er byrjun. if it's a preview of what will happen tomorrow, I'm just in heaven, you know. Well, I don't want to save a few $100s for to lose an impact, you know. And of course, you were talking about the lights. I only concentrated on the eyes. This wasn't the final lighting. It was just. Well, Warren came around and he put it up to par, you know. The whole paintings now, all of them show off much better now. It's more uplifting to come in there now, you know. So it's fine. Now this is a sturdy piece. Nothing happened. Since you guys weren't under it, I mean, then I would worry. Since þú og hún voru algjörir sauðir þarna þegar stikkið datt. Þú varst þarna svona og hún var bara að sína kamera. Þið voru bara áhorfendur og í staðinn fyrir að vera að hjálpa mér, svona, nei, svona, það bara þau bara sauðir. Þau tóku ekki þátt í neinu sem ég var að gera. Þú forðast alveg eins og heitan eldinn taka þátt í receptionismu. Algjörlega. Algjörlega eins og heitan eldinn. Ég sé bara í anda heilan á því segja nei það er minnst á það. Svo það er alveg rosalegt að vera innan bókina. Ég þykist vera velviljað og allt, en í raun og veru ekki að gera neitt nema bara að horfa á mann. Við erum bara áhorfendur. Þetta er eins merkilegt listaverk sem nokkuð maður getur gert nú til dags. Og þetta er búið til fyrir 20 árum. Það þýðir það að þetta vinnustykki neitar að búa til varúðhluti fyrir þetta stykki. Það neitar að taka þetta inn í framtíðina. Það heimtar að skapa nýja þekkingu. Tekur við þessu, ný þekking, ný framtíð. Ég vil bara sýna fram á að það þarf eitthvað að ske í núinu til þess að framtíðin breytist eða haldi sér við. Og allir varalhlutir halda framtíðinu við, það er náttúrufyrirbæri. Það er sagan býr alltaf til varalhluti til þess að halda sér við. Alltaf. Nema þegar receptionisti tekur yfir, þá verður þarna augnabliks consciousness að eitthvað nýtt verða að ske. Like Texans.
Well, we are.
So, in here or out
Yes,
there?
sir. Just over by the table.
Right here?
Yeah, just anywhere.
Go in there someplace. See? See? He's saying welcome. I have a very deep feeling for how this is made, you know. Not by me, but by nature. Since I was a boy, I used to swim in glacial waters, and those little little circular motion. It's sort of like a tornado, the miniature tornadoes in those icy waters. They scared the hell out of me. But I used to swim there anyway. Yeah, I would love to have a picture of my friends here.
Are you ready? Smile again. We're flying on a meteorite.
Yeah, we're taking a ride. If you've noticed my cubes, all different colors. So people think it's a big deal whether they like the color or not. That's not. I'm always saying like Ford, you know. It can be any color you want as long as it's black, you heard that? But I can say it's any color you want as long as it's cube. I'm trying to make the cubes part of my legacy. It's something I've been doing for 45 years. Well, I'm not really the artist. The artist is up there somewhere, you know. We don't do as much as we think we do. The real artist is a superpower that's beyond us, you know. That makes it happen, but we facilitate things. Those are three major events in life. There are three events that all happen at the same time, but they actually belong to the past, future, and present. I call it the cross-sectional time. So it's something that doesn't have our duration, has no duration whatsoever in our book. Hello?
You're the star tonight. We should have had a little silver star. Look who's over.
Oh, did you say yes, the star here?
It should have, shouldn't it? Doggone it. Here we go. Very good.
That's Katie. I gave the talk at the beginning.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mind is just blown away. All of your work and this work. I'm in love.
It's wonderful to have this open to the public so we can come
Well,
and
that's
see
good.
it.
It's going to be here, you know, on a rotating basis. It's going to be a new show every 3 months. This is really something that needs to be exhibited.
I love the games to come in here and try to guess who they are.
Yeah, this is
None of them are obvious to me.
it's a little bit like a masquerade character. You know,
It's fun. It's fun art. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Eyfells. And it looks fantastic.
Look like you're getting a good turnout here.
well, someone said over 200, 250 or something.
Good.
I can't believe it.
That's great. He's great.
Busy. Where's the rest of it? Over there?
Yeah, that's the Sunken Museum. You haven't seen the main event.
So you actually did go in there and take out all the dirt?
I started taking out the tongue, you know. Like % over every syllabus. "15 girls in here on display. They are anonymous ladies. They're absolutely her creations, but inspired perhaps by a specific personality.
Pretty amazing.
Congratulations on a great museum. Pretty neat, huh?
So it's like I say, beyond expectations. Huh?
Nice to see you.
We need people of your caliber in this area.
Well,
If you could
you know what? I want to.
get the word out about it.
I would like to.
Something new is
Everybody
happening.
needs to know about you.
Well, something new is happening here.
To see you again.
Yes.
Thank you for having this today.
Good to see you. You have a good thing going here.
I hope so. This is what's going to happen here from now on.
Well, you've done a beautiful job, Mr. Eyfells. It's just wonderful.
I prefer to be a functionary of the word yes, be a functionary of something that's eternal, has no beginning and no end, rather than to be a functionary of an ordinary cycle of life and death. But if you don't insist on that material necessity of a beginning and an end, if you simply put yourself in the service of a reality that has no beginning and has no end, you become a better life form.